With the release of the new Crystalized sets, we have new golden weapon pieces. So today, I want to go over my thoughts on them, if I think they're a worthy successor to the current golden weapon pieces from Legacy, and if they aren't, how to improve them. Let's start with one of, if not Ninjago's most iconic weapon, the Sword of Fire, which I think pretty much everyone can agree that compared to the original, it's just completely pitiful. This is almost a one-to-one recreation of what we see in the show. This looks like the Ninjago core version of what a fire sword would be. I don't know, man. These look nothing alike. And this isn't nearly as good in any way. It's really awkward and angled. Like, look at how much depth there is in the mold and shape here. And here it's just like, bam, hardline. This feels like a cheap knockoff. It does not feel like a worthy successor at all. As a sword piece on its own, it's pretty good. But as a sword of fire, it is horrendous. Next up, we have the Nunchucks of Lightning, and a pretty big issue with these, if you can't see it already, is that they have no chain. In this bag, there is no chain piece, same with the sets. I'm pretty sure the chain piece comes in like individual bags in the sets, but if you're getting one that like doesn't have the Nunchucks of Lightning in it, then you're just going to have the handles, which isn't the biggest deal at the end of the day, because gold chains are very, very common pieces. I'm not really sure how you're meant to present these. Because the problem is with these, is that they look god-awful no matter how you present them, I'm sorry. An important thing to keep in mind with these pieces though, is that they are intended for use in this. And they look a lot more complete in this Vengestone piece. Even the Nunchucks look a bit better in this piece, and that's saying something. I feel like you can only judge these pieces on their own so much. It would be like taking off a minifigure's legs and then calling it incomplete. However, I do still feel like they should be judged on the level of these old weapons, because they are trying to stand alongside of them as portrayals of the golden weapons, and I don't think they do as good of a job. Next up, we have the Scythe of Quakes, and I gotta say, this one is a pretty big improvement over what we had before. It's way similar to what we see in the show, and for that, I really like it. The molding work on the blade itself is genuinely fantastic. That doesn't mean I have no issues with the rest of the piece, however, because this piece can only be held from here. You can always position the scythe in Cole's hands so it looks like he's holding this. But that raises the question, why didn't you just do a rod? A rod wouldn't have contradicted the crystal piece and only gave people more customization for how they display their scythe. If you just had this piece be a simple rod, you would have so much more customization over what you could do with the piece. Say, for example, if you wanted a legacy scythe with this hilt on it, you could cut it off up to here and then apply it to here, basically turning it into a better version of this piece. Or you could keep it normal and have it be an original accurate scythe, or you could insert it in here and have a crystallized scythe. But as it stands, it improves in some areas and goes backwards in other areas. I would still say it's an improvement overall though. Last but not least, we have what quite possibly is the single most pointless piece change in LEGO history. Like the Sword of Fire, they took a perfect inset version of the weapons and just made them worse. I have two major issues with these Shurikens. One, the new one is way too big. It looks ridiculously goofy in the hands of a minifigure. The new piece is way too big and does not look good in the minifigure's hands at all, in comparison to the old one, which, while a bit oversized, gets the job done in conveying that they're small throwing stars well enough. This is just oversized. The next problem, they're plastic. The piece being plastic reduces the degree of movement that you can have. Take, for example, this. You could never have a plastic piece positioned in this way. And if you, not to mention, they're really hard to put on minifigures. And if you slightly nudge it, that's coming off, and coming off fast. Whereas this is easy to put in a minifigure's hands and highly positionable. Not to mention, this piece fits perfectly on the Vengestone crystal thing, which raises the question, why were they changed? If there was one piece there was absolutely no reason to change, like the Sword of Fire. I don't like this on its own, but I can get why they changed it. This piece does not fit in the crystal bit, whereas this one fits fine. But the Shurikens, both of these fit fine, making it a completely pointless change. So, in conclusion, keep using this, keep using this, keep using these, but use the new scythe piece because it's awesome. For all the Crystalized set wave gets right, and trust me, it gets a lot right. God, I love that Oni Garmadon minifigure. These golden weapons are just very subpar, I'm sorry. I will say though, having them come in every single set was a great move on LEGO's part. I have no complaints with that. I just wish we got more pieces like this and less pieces like this. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like, share it with a friend if you found it interesting, and if you like Ninjago videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications so you know when the next video comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.